Hello, I'm Michael Glass from michaelglass.com, where we focus on making informed decisions about our financial future. This is our forex technical analysis trading plan for the pound dollar, the euro dollar, and the dollar franc. Before we pull up our video, we always want to start off our disclosures. Any symbols you see today should not be referred as a trading recommendation. No matter what form of investing you choose, stock, forex, futures, options, they all have a level of risk associated with them. You can lose all of your money. Any strategies we show today are for informational purposes only. Future results are not guaranteed. And finally, any investment decision you make is solely your own responsibility. Trade at your own risk. As we said, this is our forex technical analysis trading plan for the pound dollar, the euro dollar, and the dollar franc. In each video, we look at the prior session's price action to come up with key support and resistance price levels. We'll review the gold chart to come up with leading sentiment. We'll try to create a low volatility and inside bar watch list, and we have an education spotlight at the end. Please send your feedback and comments to contact@dmbfx.com, and let's head to the charts. As we begin to look at the week that was, we're first going to look at whether or not the FOMC disappointed the market. They had their meeting here on Tuesday and Wednesday. At their announcement, they decided to extend Operation Twist, which is their long-term buying through the end of the year instead of more quantitative easing. And so the market reacted on Thursday basically with a sell-off. So they sold stocks and they bought the dollars. So did they disappoint? The initial reaction would be yes. And that kind of goes to the bigger concern about whether or not the global economies are slowing down. In recent weeks, we saw slower manufacturing growth from China, Germany, and U.S. Of course, we have the Eurozone debt crisis that also continues to weigh on the global economy. So when you see the manufacturing data weaken, that typically aligns or correlates with GDP data. And of course, we also saw at the FOMC meeting minutes that they lowered their GDP forecast from 2.4 to 2.9% down to 1.9 to 2.4%. And so you're seeing that GDP shrinking estimates. We did see more information, more clarity about the bailout from Spain. We also saw in Greece that the political coalition that has taken control is pro-bailout. So the austerity plan is still in place, which allows Spain to be put into focus and to receive their money. But of course, what is in state here for the Eurozone? Italy's prime minister said that there's a week to save the Eurozone. And so there's a meeting that's supposed to happen this week for the EU. And what we're probably going to see is a softer stance for Greece and Spain. Right now, they're supposed to be get their debt in control in 2 years. And maybe we'll see that expanded to 4 years. And then also, will Greece lighten up and allow the ECB to print more money like the FOMC can here in the States and the Bank of England? Which leads us to, will the Bank of England begin to quantitative ease? And at the last meeting minutes, the minutes just came out, and it saw that 4 members did actually vote for quantitative easing, while 5 voted against it. And so at this upcoming meeting on July 5th, there is a potential for people to see the pound and the Bank of England actually begin to quantitative ease because, again, the economies are shrinking. All right, so as we look at our market sentiment leaders, the dollar, gold, and crude oil, we see a couple things. Gold, the dollar here did rebound a little bit. We'll zoom in a little bit. And we can see that it came down and found support last week. We talked about the support at 81. It did find that, and now it's going back, retesting the highs. So the dollar is definitely sideways up, but notice that we do have a little point of control here just above 82.8. So be interested to see, but you can see a lot of volume has accumulated in here also. So be interested to see if we can get back up here to 83. But definitely the dollar is sideways up. What does that mean for gold? Usually there's an inverse relationship. And we can see that gold did fall off a little bit here as the dollar, last week the dollar was down, gold was up. This week the dollar is up and gold is down. Back down here around 1560. A lot of accumulation in here. You can even see that on our market profile. So gold sideways. This is where typically we have found support, 1530 the lowest. So I think we're okay around support, but no real trend to trade. And finally, crude oil. I saw an article that said maybe we'll see 250 again in gas. How about that? I come over here first to show you some wicks where we found support. And so this week, when we got back down into that $77 range, we did find a little support here. So gold is still down, sideways or down at best, but definitely down. But again, longer term, the 77.50 is where we found support for crude oil. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the euro dollar. And the first thing we could see that happened this particular week is that we can see that the market rallied a little bit first to our resistance at 1.265, but more importantly to the 50 moving average, and kind of fell off there. So our downtrend is still intact. We found resistance at the 50 moving average and are making a move back down. I'll zoom in a little bit more here, and we can kind of see that 1.25 is kind of our barrier here before we start going and retesting the lows of the month of May. You can see a little wickish area here, little wickish areas going on here. So, and you can see the consolidation we had in here. So it's something to watch. See if we get a little support here at 1.25. But again, what's more important is our downtrend is still intact. Now, what we see here over on a 1 hour time frame coming in, we can see that we are, in the buying zone in terms of our Bollinger Bands, but again, we are in a downtrend, so you're going against the trend. Even our indicator on the daily is not oversold anymore. How about the pound dollar? Zoom in for you on the daily. Zoom in a little bit here on the hourly. And we see a little bit similar. We hit our low here at 1.52. We come up and we find resistance at the 50, and notice the 200 moving average is here also. And now we're pulling back a little bit. Now here's a little bit different. I don't really see in this move up. You might say 1.55. We did get a couple side days action here, but we're still in a downtrend here long term, and we found resistance. Same thing on the hourly. We can see we're in a buy zone, but you're buying against the trend. We can even see our acceleration starting to top out here. Finally, we look at the dollar franc. And we'll zoom in for us here. Well, first we'll zoom out. I guess we should look at that. Alright, so you can see what we were looking for on this last time. I moved all the way up to 1. We didn't get that. The market did pull back, and this, because we're in an uptrend here, recent uptrend, we found support at the 50 moving average. Even had a nice inside bar there. Found support at 50 moving average, and we come back up. So we're trying to defend here 0.955, whether or not we're fractionally above that. So now we have to look at getting above 9.6 possibly. We can see we have some candles in here at this 9.6 level to go up and test the recent high of May. Likewise, on our 1 hour time frame, we can see we're a little bit, really we're in a neutral zone. We're not really oversold. We're in a neutral zone versus a sell zone. And we're starting to get deceleration extended here, so we may see a continuation of this move higher here on a daily. As we come to our two watch lists, the first is our low volatility watch list, which is our 1 hour time frame using Bollinger Bands. Here we're going to be watching the consolidation of the dollar franc and the pound yen. Our inside bar watch list is looking at the range of the day and comparing it to the previous day, Friday compared to Thursday. And we do have one candidate in the pound yen, so notice that consolidation there for the pound yen. For our education spotlight, we're looking at what are the stages that every trader goes through in order to be consistent. Well, first and foremost, they're not able to recognize the pattern, whether it's a trading setup, whether it's an indicator, whatever it may be. They're showing problems recognizing patterns. The next stage is I understand what's forming. I understand a pattern, a chart pattern. I understand what my indicators are saying, but they apply the wrong strategies, and that typically happens because they don't have rules to react to those patterns, and they're allowing their emotions. They're trying to jump the gun, or they're trying to get into a train that's already left the station. So a consistent trader reaches that final stage where they're able to identify a pattern and they're able to apply action, but more importantly, the right action, because that's really the difference between 2 and 3. Because people take action when they identify a pattern, but a consistent trader takes the right action. Ron Anari always says, and I like to share this quote all the time, that the job of a trader is to recognize opportunity and apply the right strategies. And that's what trading is all about. We have to see the patterns and apply the right strategy based upon data, based upon our back-tested setups that we know gives us positive expectancy. So you can continue to see us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Move on Mike on YouTube and Twitter, and on Facebook we're Are You Financially Literate? You know about our resources, our coaching, and our managed forex account. Put our expertise to work for you. And our automatic forex trading. I'm excited to tell you that come July 5th, we do have a new forex offering coming to you. And I'm really excited about that. I've been asked to do it for so long, and I'm finally going to work with some people to do it for you. So check us out. Probably in our next video next week, I'll give you more details. In the end, no matter how you get your information, as we just said, it's not just about getting the information, it's applying the right action. And that's developing the trader's mindset to see, comprehend, and take the right action. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.